Maximum music, maximum sport, maximum radio. Max Drive with Stuart McCafferty.
This is the Max Radio.
The Who and Substitutes getting played at the Max. So 20 minutes past 4. I'm Stuart McCafferty taking care of Max Drive today. And not just talking football and rugby and all that sort of stuff, but we're going stateside. Big start to the NFL season actually starts during the small hours of tomorrow morning. And we'll be chatting all things NFL. And on right now, we're chatting to Liz Bhandari. Liz, how are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm good. Liz goes on the Twitter handle of NFLGirlUK, so she knows a little bit about her gridiron. So the actual season itself, Liz, been very much the same as sport here this side of the pond in terms of COVID training and all that sort of stuff. It's been a strange, close season, shall we say, for the NFL.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how, I guess, it's played out. I mean, we had no pre-season, media were locked out from training, so no one really knows how the teams are, I guess, really looking. And, we saw the London and Mexico games cancelled, so I guess in my head, I don't think I ever thought the season was going to go ahead on time. I thought it would maybe get pushed back. But no, here we are. It's going ahead, and the first game kicks off tonight.
Indeed it does. Small hours of tomorrow morning, Kansas City Chiefs. I know it's always weird to say tonight, but it's not really, of course.
It's not.
But it's a really good game to kick off. I mean, you've got Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions, and taking on the Houston Texans, who some would say are a bit of a dark horse to actually get the Vince Lombardi trophy.
Yeah, I would love that. I'm a massive JJ Watt fan, but I don't know. Come on, it's Kansas City Chiefs. If anyone's going to do it again, it's going to be them.
Yeah, but I've got to be honest. But I was going to say an Oakland fan. Me being a Raiders fan, supporting the Kansas City Chiefs for me is a complete no-no.
Never going to happen.
But you have to be honest. You look at the likes of Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's a quarterback who just seems to do absolutely everything, and I just when you see his playing style, you just think, how does he manage to do the things that he does?
He's so talented, and you can just sort of sense it. I guess he probably sees it in slow-mo, and that's why it's so perfect. But him, he's one of the brightest and most brilliant young talents in the NFL, as is Deshaun Watson as well, who obviously he's facing up. He's a Texan signal caller, so it's been about, I think, 8 months since they last faced each other, and I think that was pretty much when Chiefs sent Texans home. So yeah, I think it'll be a really interesting game. I'm really excited to see it. I think Texans will absolutely put up a fight. It's definitely not going to be a breeze for Kansas City, so yeah, can't wait.
Let's talk about the season itself and close season. And for people who are not NFL fans, but they'll recognise some of the names, I suppose one of the big news stories coming out of the NFL during the summer was the man that they call the GOAT going from one team to another.
Yeah, so that was huge news. So Tom Brady, yeah, he's the GOAT. He left the New England Patriots, who he'd been with for many years, won, I think, 6 Super Bowl rings. And yeah, he's come to join the Tampa Bay Bucks. Now, they were not a particularly winning team, but kind of over the off-season, they've really, really gone for it. They've brought in Tom Brady to replace Jameis Winston. Tom Brady's convinced Rob Gronkowski, his tight end, to come out of retirement to come and join him. They've retained their top pass rushers from last season, so they've brought back Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, Nadal Su. And yeah, they've just got this team, and I think if anyone is going to be the most improved team of 2020, it's going to be Tampa Bay.
In terms of the season itself, obviously the league is obviously split into 2 divisions with the AFC and the NFC. In terms of it divisionally itself, I mean, who are you thinking are going to be the hot teams of the AFC?
So for the AFC, I think with the AFC, Patriots are still going to take it. I mean, we don't know quite how it's going to be, without Tom Brady, but Bill Belichick is a mastermind, so I think he'll come out strong. Other teams come out of that, so I think Ravens for the North, I think Colts for the South, and I think Chiefs again for the West. And I guess for maybe an AFC Championship, I think it'd be pretty special if we saw Chiefs again, and the Ravens. Now Ravens, I honestly think could be the team to make it to the Super Bowl. I think Lamar Jackson's an absolutely incredible talent again. A bit like Patrick Mahomes, just incredible.
In terms of the actual the teams and the stadium as well, as you mentioned, there's some that are. I mean, reading up, and obviously Kansas City is one of them. I believe that they're not going to are going to have some fans in stadiums, but the vast majority of the NFL teams are not going to have fans in the stadium. A bit like us here in the UK, and when you consider as well two new stadia in Las Vegas, and also the $6 billion stadium in Los Angeles, that they're not going to have the spectacle of having fans in them.
No, they're not. So there's only 6 of the 32 teams that are actually planning to have fans, and obviously that's a significantly reduced capacity. So I think that's quite. I mean, that's for the first game. We don't know, I guess, what's going to happen the rest of the season. Definitely, a lot of them have said no, none at all. But yeah, six teams are game for it at the moment. And I guess it's not just the stadiums. I mean, we've had players opt out of teams as well. So I think 70 players overall, they've opted out of the season. They had to do that by the 6th of August. And interestingly, so eight players have opted out of New England Patriots, and that's basically the most. And then there's only 3 teams that have had no players opt out at all. So it's quite interesting to see how this year is really gonna pan out.
So we talked about the AFC, and let's have a look at the NFC. I believe that you're a Seahawks fan, so are you expecting the 12th? Obviously, they won't have the 12th man anymore, I suppose, with all what's going on with COVID. But let's have a look at the NFC teams. Let's try and be a bit make sure that you're not going for your home team, so to speak. And who do you think will compete well?
So yeah, I mean that's the thing. So I've kind of looked at. I think Cowboys to the east, Vikings to the north. South could be anywhere between Saints and Bucks. I'm going with Bucks just because I'd that's like the fairy tale. I'd love to see that. The West is really tough because both 49ers and Seahawks are really talented teams. The obvious thing in me would be to go Seahawks, but realistically, I just think 49ers have. They're not going to have that Super Bowl hangover. From having lost. I kind of think they're going to take it in a stride and they're just going to go forth with it as well. So they're my favourite teams for, I guess, winning the division. I guess the actual championship, I don't know, in my head I can just see it as being 49ers versus the Buccaneers. That's what I can picture.
And in terms of, well, obviously it'll be Tom Brady against the team that he supported as a child as well, being a man from San Francisco. So, do you think it will be a fairy tale that Brady could be back at a Super Bowl again? I mean,
I've been convincing myself that it's a joke, but actually the more I've been saying it, the more I'm starting to believe it. I can see it. I can see Tompa lifting Lombardi. So yeah, I don't know. I think that would be, like you say, the fairy tale. As for, I guess, the realism of it, I guess we don't know until the kickoff. Really, I've got no idea how that team's going to gel, really. So I'd like to see it purely for the fairy tale.
Of course, January is Super Bowl time. Where's the venue this year for a Super Bowl? I know that we've been talking about LA, but I think is that not next the following year? I believe. I think they're.
Oh, do you know what? In my head, I was thinking. Vegas, but I think I might be wrong because that was supposed to be the draft, which obviously didn't happen. Yeah.
we will see, but I'm just in terms of the Super Bowl itself. When January comes, it's always that big spectacular event, and it could be a little bit of a damp squid if this COVID situation continues, and we could see a possibility of a Super Bowl with no fans at all watching it. It'll all be a viewing audience.
I mean, it's a huge money maker. By the way, it's the Super Bowl's in Tampa Bay, Florida, so that would be interesting. Imagine if it was Tampa and it was actual Tampa playing at home. But yeah, back to the point of being the fans. Yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl is a massive money maker. I mean, I've heard it's something like 10 grand just to get a ticket. So I don't know. I can't imagine them having no fans. But I don't know. It'll be the first weekend of February, so. Who knows? We might be out of the woods by then. I really don't think we will be. But I think also at the same time, I don't know, I can see fans kicking up enough of a fuss that they'll just, I guess, loosen the rules and just allow it to happen. I don't picture there being a fanless Super Bowl. That would just be the weirdest thing.
I'm going to the ideal world. I'm just going to living in the world of fantasy at the moment. With this up and coming NFL season, if there was one game that you could go and see during the regular season, which game would it be?
See, for me, and I guess for my husband as well, he's a 49ers fan, I would love to see Seattle versus 49ers. I think that would be an absolutely incredible game. I guess I'm a bit biased on that one.
I would obviously go to Allegiant Stadium myself and watch a Raiders game, but in terms of prices of tickets, which I've been looking at, and I'm thinking, wow, I don't even think I'll be doing that for a good number of years anyway. I'll have to save my pennies. Anyway, so can we, in terms of who will win the Super Bowl, we really, I've got to be honest, I really can't see any further than the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they're going to do it again, they absolutely will. I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. He's unstoppable, I would say. So do you know what? If it happens again, great. But if it keeps happening like it used to with the Patriots, then I think we'll all get annoyed pretty quickly.
We will see. They might become the new team that everybody loves to hate, so to speak.
Yeah.
Liz, it's been an absolute pleasure. You've got your podcast as well, the Cleats Off podcast too. You can follow her on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at NFLGirlUK. It's a pleasure. I know that during the season we'll chat again here on the Max.